still raining and still doing videos. We're going to start with bailments here, and bailments talk. What is bailment? Bailment is when you take possession of an item but you don't take possession of the title, or you don't have the title, which means maybe borrowing it or just have it in your care for a certain amount of time. So you have a bailer, who is the person who has the true title to it. They allow you to use it, and you become the bailee. And bailments are all over the place. If you take shoes in to have them repaired, if you take your computer in to have them repaired, you become the bailer, and whoever you take the item to be repaired becomes the bailee. So bailments are all over the place. We just don't call them that, and we probably don't really think of them too often. A good example is when we loan somebody something, or release something ourselves. Again, shoe repair. We're going to watch a really short, corny video about Vinny and Oscar, and a bailment. So, and it is very corny. I do apologize for that. So, elements of a bailment is its personal property. It is delivered physically, but the title is not handed over, and the property will be returned. So that's kind of the elements, the criteria for a bailment. You have three ordinary bailments. First, there's the sole benefit of the bailer. It's in my favor if I'm doing it. I take my item in to be repaired. That's to benefit for me. So let's say I take a watch in to have it repaired. And then I would go back and pick it up again. There is a bailment called the sole benefit of the bailee. When somebody lends you something, you become the bailee, and that's for your betterment. And finally, you have mutual benefit for both. That's when you may put it in storage, where you get to store it, and you pay to have it stored. So you have a bailer-bailee relationship. There are special types of bailments: common carriers, hotel operators, motel operators also, and warehouse companies. They're all bailees, and people entrust their goods with them to a certain extent. Common carriers, UPS, FedEx, they have strict liability. If something happens to it, they're responsible for it. But they also can have limited liability, depending on how the contracts are written. You have hotel operators, strict liability for something that's in your room that's stolen. They kind of can get around that by having a safe in the office and making sure that you're aware of that they will keep valuable items in a safe for you. And then you have warehouse companies. They have a liability of negligence. They must keep the warehouse in good shape. You can't be raining in on it. Has to be secure. Has to have proper utilities running to it and everything. And you usually put things in the warehouse and receive a receipt for it, so that only that receipt can get it out. So three special kinds of bailments. There are rights of the bailee, duties of the bailee, and duties of the bailer. Just to kind of wrap it all up. I see I missed a question here. How about you go do this question? And when you get back, we'll talk about these rights, duties, and duties. Okay? Okay, now we can do rights, duties, and duties. So the bailee, remember the bailee is a person receiving the item. They're going to have it in their possession. They have the right to use the bailed property. They may get compensation for it, or they may have to compensate somebody for it, and they have limited liability typically, unless otherwise, like I said, you could have strict liability, depending on the situation. typically there are limits to the liability for that. Duties for the bailee. They have duty of care, which means they should take good care of it, and they have the duty to return the bailed property, such as the watch. If I took a watch in to be repaired, I should be able to go back and pick that up. And the duties of the bailer is a mutual benefit bailment. There's no defects in it. We're aware of that. And the sole benefit of the bailee, this whole thing comes down to both should be aware of the defects in any bailed item. Things should not be hidden. It should be very transparent is what we're talking about. And that kind of wraps it up. It's very short, but I didn't want you sitting through 18 minutes with the other ones. So here's another question on bailments, and we shall continue this with the insurance in part 3. This is part 2. And insurance, you can see there's quite a bit to it. Should be kind of interesting for you. So, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in class. Thank you.